So in today's video, we will learn and understand about the ERPNext sales cycle. Now within that sales cycle, we will take a look at quotation, we will take a look at sales order as well as sales invoice. So the purpose of this video is to understand each of this document individually, and along with that also to understand the linkage between these three documents, how are these connected with each other. And we will also be creating an email notification. So the email notification will be a custom notification that we will set up, which will trigger whenever the quotation is submitted within a system. So let's get started and create a quotation now. Okay, so before we begin, let's understand what quotation actually is. So quotation is nothing but a price or an amount that you are currently negotiating with your customer, potential customer, or you can say right now your client. So quotation has different words. It can also be called as proposal. It can also be called as pro forma invoice. And within quotation, what you can do is set up, you can basically mention that this is the best rate that you can give, and this is a formal document where you are letting the customer know that these are the total amount. Here you can also add in many other details which we will see now. So let's select our customer over here. Now here, if you can see the order type, so there are different ways a quotation can be created. Through shopping cart is when somebody requests from the website. We will take a look at it later. Again, the maintenance workflow is something that we will take a look at it later. Right now let's understand the sales workflow. Now next thing is you can mention the currency. Again, this is the something that is default, that is set along with the company that you have already set. So we will move further. Also, you can see that there is a section of ignore pricing rule. Now in the previous videos we have created multiple pricing rules. Now if you want that the pricing rule should be ignored for any item that we select over here, that can be specified over here. All right, so let's say the customer is asking for quotations for let's say MacBook M2 Air, and let's say we want the customer is asking for 5 quantity, and along with that we can also add one more, let's say chairs, and let's add some amount over here. Now let's take a look at additional thing that can be specified along while specifying the item code and the quantity and other details over here. So if there is any item that you want which you are adding as an alternative, that can be added as well. So for example, let's say somebody is I'll remove this one, I'll add a better example, I'll use this. Okay, so now I'm giving this as 4, quantity as 5. Okay, and we say that this is alternative. Now as soon as you say this as an alternative, so what happens is whenever the total is calculated, this is excluded right now. So let me save and take a look at this. So yeah, as you can see, the total amount of the first item is added, whereas the rest is currently excluded. Now let's continue editing our entire quotation. So as you can see, the important thing for quotation is to specify what is the item, what is the amount, what is the rate. Along with that, if you want to add any margin, that can also be added over here. And other things is that if it is present in a warehouse, like from which warehouse are you going to, if at all, if this quotation is converted, then where from which warehouse the sales order will be created. All that details can be specified over here. Okay, now let's move ahead. There is also a section about taxes and charges. So let's say you have a shipping charge, so even the shipping rule can be applied and different taxes and charges can be applied. Now for taxes and charges, I will be creating a separate videos later on, so during that time we will take a deeper look into it. Basically this comes under accounting section. So yeah, this quotation is created. Now address and contact includes the customer's address and contact as well as company's address and contact as well. Then there is terms and details, and basically here if there are any payment terms where you state that you want the advanced payment or something like that, all of that can be specified over here. And more info will come to it in a while. So let's submit this quotation. Okay, yeah, before we submit the quotation, let's do one thing. Let's just go ahead and quickly create a notification as well. So what we'll do is we'll search for notification list, and we will be adding notification. Okay, Now let's say I'm saying that this is the quotation update. Okay, and the subject line also I'll say that quotation is ready. Okay, and here we are saying that we want to send an alert on submit, and we can select the document type over here. So I'll be selecting quotation, and we can just add who do we want to send it. Now this contact email is basically the customer's contact email, which is linked in the quotation document already. And we can add a message over here. So we'll just say hello, let's just say dear, and we'll add dot customer name. Your quotation is ready, please find the attached document. Okay, so once this is done, just also a very important thing is within attachment you can see that there is this attach print checkbox. So you need to make sure that you are enabling it, because once you enable this, then only the quotation document will be sent to a customer, to a client. Otherwise, if this is not enabled, then the document won't be sent. So let's select quotation with item image, and we'll just save this. So this notification is now ready. We'll just double check it once. If everything is looking fine, it is looking fine. Alright, so let's get back to our quotation now. And what we will do is we will submit it right now. So as soon as we submit, we should be able to see that this quotation is this is emailed. The email will be sent to a customer now. Okay, so submitted, quotation has been submitted successfully. And you can also see that there is this email about basically notification sent to this email ID. Alright, so just to show you quickly, I'll just also open my email. So as you can see, this is the email that is triggered by a system after the quotation was submitted. Let's take a look at what quotation document currently includes. So you can see that it mentions that this is the total details about whatever quotation was sent, and as you can see, the grand total is coming to this first amount because the second one is alternative. Now we can actually further customize this print format where we mention that this is the alternative item and that other things can be added. Okay, so let's get back to our quotation now. So since the quotation is now created, now there are two different things that can happen. Now either a customer will say that yes, they want to proceed with this amount, or they can also say that maybe they want to negotiate, or another thing that could happen is that a user or a customer will say that maybe they don't want to go ahead with this quotation. So in that case, what can be done is there is a section called as lost reasons, where whoever was the competitor or whatever is the reason, that can be specified in the comment, and the competitor details can also be added, just so a proper tracking is done, just so a better insights are created out of this later. Okay, now let's say that the customer has agreed, stating that okay, they are okay with this much price, and the next thing would be to create a sales order. So let's go ahead and create a sales order out of it. Now here you can select whether the sales order has to be added for this one or for this one. Now for the sake of this video, let's go ahead with this one. Now sales order is basically a confirmation of an order. Sales order is where we specify that okay, we are stating that the contract is now ready with us. It's like wherever a sales order or a purchase order is created, we know that the order is confirmed. That means the stock can be filled if it is not filled, or the work can be ordered if it is not ordered. So sales order is nothing but the confirmation of the order. Okay, so in sales order, there are some things that has to be specified, such as the delivery date. That means by when a customer can expect this order. So let's say 29th. And again, all the different details like the taxes details, the shipping details, all of those details can also be added over here. And again, if the pricing rule is applicable, even that can be applied over here. So let's save it now. Now this sales order is created. So what we will do is we will submit this sales order, and further we'll move towards the next step, that is creating the sales invoice. Now as soon as sales order is created, if you click over here, you'll see that there are multiple documents which can be created out of sales order. Now each of this document have a different use case. Each of this belongs to different modules. Some of them belong to maintenance, some of them belong to manufacturing module, some of them could be very direct, where in this case right now we will just go ahead and create a sales invoice. Now sales invoice is where the actual accounting transaction happen. This is where the actual financial, basically you can say the ledger is going to be affected with this. So sales invoice is also where against this document a customer is supposed to make a payment. Okay, so for sales invoice there are similar details which were present in sales order. So if the details are present in sales order related to taxes, related to all the other details related to shipping rule, so all of those can be fetched accordingly in the sales invoice. So right now we'll keep it very simple and we'll just save this sales invoice as well, and we'll just submit the sales invoice. Okay, now the sales invoice is submitted. That means that the ledger entry would have been affected out of it. Now meanwhile, let's also go and take a look at dashboard. So as you can see that here it is written that 2 sales order to deliver. So there was 1 sales order which I added earlier, which is why it is showing that 2 sales order to deliver. And if, as you can see, the total amount is basically based on our latest amount that is added. So the dashboard over here can help us understand what is the scenario of the selling, and the purpose of this video was for also to understand the importance of each of these, importance of quotation, importance of sales order and invoice. So for quotation, it is like a formal intent, it protects both parties. It protects the customers knows what's the price that they're getting, and without it there could be disputes that happen. So it is like an official record. Quotation is like an official record. And then sales order is also something when a customer is saying that yes, okay, they want to order it. So again, like I mentioned, the stock can be reserved, procurement can be ordered out of it. And sales invoices, again, it is just a balance update happens. Basically a financial entry is being created. Now the reason why these 3 are important, and reason why it is important that each 3 of these are linked with each other, is because it creates a traceable track. So let's say after 6 months you find that there is some dispute, maybe in the payment, or if you want to track some entry or something, so you have something to track back. You can just understand that where was this amount, like how did this amount came in. I'll go to this one. Basically how this amount came in, and then what was the origin of this amount, where was all of these details coming in from, all of that other important aspects of it. And another thing is, once the sales invoice is created, a payment can be added against it. And for the payment, it is simple. A payment can be added. I won't be creating a payment right now, because it will be like creating a blank entry. I would want to actually show the other details over here, the payment integration and everything else related to it. So yeah, this is the detail about creating the sales invoice, sales order and quotation. This is the linkage of it. There are multiple use cases where this scenario is very much applicable. Let's just take a look at the dashboard right now, and we'll also take a look at this one. Just a minute. So as you can see, this to incoming payment. So for the earlier sales invoice which I created a payment against it. So that is why it is showcasing how much payment I have exactly got. Now this outgoing bills is basically the pending amount for which the customer is yet to pay. So all these details are present at one place. So from the visibility perspective, it is amazing, I would say, to create all of this and to follow the order particularly. So yeah, that was it. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.